Hello YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. This is CB and you're tuned in to my channel, Life Lessons Forum. And today I want to continue with a life lesson of my background. You all know that I'm from San Francisco. Last time I talked about the reasons behind me starting this channel, and also talked about certain problems that San Francisco face for over 20, 30 some odd years. As long as I've been alive, they've been dealing with that problem of homelessness. But today I'm just going to give you a little more background information on myself. So I grew up in San Francisco. For those who are from San Francisco, I grew up in Sunnydale Projects as a little kid, and I remember growing up with my mom and my older brother, and it's funny nowadays that I see young kids who are not allowed to go outside, and when I was growing up we were able to go everywhere. Even though we grew up in Sunnydale Projects, it was very dangerous, but we still were able to go outside, spend time with our friends. I even, when I was in elementary school, would get on a bus and travel across town, you know, and walk home with friends and by myself with no problems. You know, that's how things have really changed since I gotten older. So I grew up in Sunnydale Projects, and then as I got older, my mom and brother, we moved to the Mission District. For those who are familiar with the Mission District, we grew up on 16 Valencia, and forgot the name of the hotel, but it was like a hotel slash apartments. And I remember growing up there, and as I was growing up, I went to elementary school, Sanchez. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Sanchez Elementary School, but it was up further up 16th Street. And then after that, I graduated to Everett Middle School. For those, Sanchez and Everett are connected. And also, as I was going through these schools, especially in middle school, I had a chance to go to the Boys Club on 15th Street. For those who are familiar with the Boys Club in San Francisco, that was a way for my mom to get me and my brother to stay busy and out of trouble. And when I was going there, it was a Boys Club. Now I've been there this summer. Now it's a Boys Club and Girls Club. I just wish that was around when I was going, but hey, you know, change, right? So change is, you know, in the beginning is not good, but eventually it becomes good, right? So I grew up there, went to the Boys Club, made a lot of friends, got a chance to travel, learn a lot of new things, like different types of sports, travel, go camping, go whitewater rafting, stuff of that nature. Learn a little bit about business. We had a opportunity to sell some of the products there, like hot dogs, sodas. So that gave me a little bit of business savvy, learning a little bit about business. So after transitioning from the Mission District, in the Mission District also, they were known for their burritos, and I think they still have them there. I went to a few of them. Some of them have gone, some of them are still around. But, you know, I mean, we used to get burritos this long and this thick, you know, for about $5. You know, I think it was like, what, a couple pounds or something like that. What, 5 to 7 pounds burrito. Yeah, they're pretty huge. And I remember going on Mission Street, and they were known for their movie theaters. I remember going to New Mission Theater, and as a little kid, we used to, me and my friends, we used to go in there and pay $1.50 and bring our snacks and everything else with us, burritos and stuff like that. And just have a good time, you know. It was, I mean, just remembering. I remember when I was younger, and we used to have drive-in movie theaters as well, and in Cowboys, the Cow Palace. It was known as the Cow Palace back then when I was growing up. I think it's still known as the Cow Palace, but back then they used to have movie theaters where you can go drive in, and people, if you didn't have money, people would sneak in, buy going in through the trunk and hiding in the trunk, and people would drive in and park and watch movie theaters and stuff of that nature. And I remember the last movie I seen at the drive-in movie theater was Bruce Lee. I think it was Into the Dragon or something like that. Yeah, I think I was like in my early teens or something like that. And I remember watching that. And that's another thing that's going away nowadays is the drive-in movie theaters. Those are very iconic and classic. I remember going there with my mom. And yeah, so Mission District was known for its movie theaters. I know that they just refurbished new Mission, and I haven't had a chance to go back in since I was back there. It was so busy. But I got a chance to eat a burrito again. And on Valencia, and I was kind of disappointed it wasn't the same. So I have to, when I go back again in a couple of years, hopefully get a chance to go on Mission Street and get a burrito, because those were delicious. Yeah, so growing up in the Mission District, known for its burritos, known for its movie theaters. I remember going to see Friday the 13th, Jason, because I was really into those scary movies, so I would go there, watch that with friends, and spend time and stuff, have a good time, hang out in the Mission. And then we end up, and it's funny because I almost ended up in a gang in the Mission District. Back then, it's not so much like Bloods and Crips, but it's more like turfs, neighborhoods, certain cliques you claim. So I almost ended up in a gang, but luckily my mom ended up moving over to Hunters Point in the Bayview district. So I ended up moving there, and by that time, oh, also before I get to that, also I ended up going to the middle school, Horseman Middle School, where I had an opportunity to meet different groups of people, make new friends, mostly Spanish, because Mission District was known for the barrio Spanish majority in that particular community. So I had a lot of Spanish friends growing up. And Horseman, I had an opportunity to meet new friends, and my grades were very successful. I was very successful at that middle school. So big up to Horseman Middle School. Hopefully you're still around. You know, you keep making those students who are geared towards the future. So I ended up moving from there. Yeah, I remember going to Mission Dolores. You know, back then when I used to go to Mission Dolores, you know, I used to go there on field trips all the time. When I used to go to Everett and Horseman, and back then you had to be careful walking in the grass, because you know what you step in. You have to be careful. You may step in dog manure, so you have to be very careful. I know that they remodeled it, cleaned it up, and then on towards the back of Mission Dolores, I guess everyone know about that with the where the train, the bar system, where a lot of drug traffic and all that type of stuff, gang violence and stuff like that. I guess they cleaned that up a little bit. But I remember going to Mission Dolores all the time for field trips. I mean, it's like almost every other couple months to go there for field trip. And you know, I used to sign my mom's signature just to go. You know, and nowadays a lot of people don't allow their kids to go on field trips, but I think field trips are a very important part of children's education, as far as just being in the classroom setting. But that's just my opinion. You know, everyone has their opinion, right? So all right, so moved from the Mission District, almost ended up in gang, but luckily I was moved over to the Bayview, Hunters Point. Went to Philip Burton Academic. Okay, I went to academic because I was doing well in my schooling at the time, so I went there. Went there for a couple of years, and then after that I transferred schools to McAteer High School. All right, so I went there because School of Arts, because I was into art, drawing, painting, and stuff like that. So I went there for a few years, and lived in the Bayview. Those who are familiar with Schaffner Avenue and what's the other one I lived on? Can't remember the other name, but it was in Bayview as well, because we moved from Schaffner to the other one. It was Lee or something, Lee Road or something like that. But moved over there. First job I ended up getting was KFC. Ended up a co-manager, and moved out to Oakland. Worked out there as a co-manager, and then I started realizing that you really started knowing about business, especially when you have co-workers who decide may not to show up. So you have to be able to learn and do many things as you manage a particular company. So I started realizing at that time a lot of my employees were going to school at the time, and they would work and then go to school, to college and everything. And then I started realizing, you know what, this is maybe not a good idea for me to put all of this energy into someone else's business, where I should be trying to put a majority of this time and effort into myself and see where that goes. So I decided to, because I was working like 6 days a week, 12 to 13 hours days. So I would go there in the morning and go home at night. So, you know, after that 6th day, you know, you don't even remember your name at the time, half of the time. So, and then you don't have much to do or get things done because it's the weekend, right? So I decided, you know what, and they were going to pay me at the time, I think 21, 22, and they were going to pay me like $35,000, $40,000 a year. But I just said, you know what, I'm going back to school, going back to college. And, you know, my mom would always say, you know, you should go to college. You shouldn't be trying to work so hard and, you know, someone else's job. I was like, you know what, I'm going to college. So I went back to college, moved back to San Francisco, worked for my boss who trained me as a co-manager, worked with them, went back to college. For those who are from San Francisco City College, okay, at one point it was a free college, as my boss used to tell me. So Bernie Sanders, I don't know about making universities free, but I do believe that we should make junior colleges for free, the first 2 years for free at least, okay? And then but yeah, so I went to City College, and you know, went there for business administration, international business, that is. So I went to City College, transferred from there to San Francisco State College University. Went there, continued with international business, got a degree in City College, but then I decided, you know what, I was finding a little interest in psychology, so I started taking classes in psychology. Then I ended up getting a degree in psychology from San Francisco State. And then after that, at that time, I was moved out of my parents' house, my mom's house, lived on my own over at Ocean Avenue, living with some roommates. And then I met a friend, another peer in college, moved in with them. They had a house out there by Ocean Beach, so I, you know, were able to walk a couple miles, a couple blocks, that is, not miles, but blocks, to the beach, and, you know, observe that beauty and sun and sand for a few years, and did that. And then once college finished, you know, the job dried up. That was during the dot-commers, and then after that, the techies came in, and then after the bus, I was able to survive the bus in the 1990s, but after that, I think when I finished college and job market dried up for me, that's when the techies were in, and then that's when I decided to leave California, because things got too expensive. It was very difficult to find work, especially in my field. But if I had the opportunity to become a techie, man, who knows, I probably would have stuck around. But a friend for college convinced me to move from California, and that's my story. You know, for the thing, I was homeless for a few months living in my car. I would have never thought that people were able to create a YouTube channel living in their vehicles. Who would have thought, right? I mean, I should have been first at that, you know. But at the time, I remember, I think I put it on my one of my other videos, but it was a time when I was in my car. My car stopped on me, it stopped working, and it was a stick. So basically, what you have to do, I was parked on a hill at the time. I was living with my ex-girlfriend at the time, and the car stopped on me. So I had to push it in order to start, because it was a stick shift. So once you push it and move, it'll start up. So once it started up, I had to move to the other side because it has street cleaning. So if you don't move in time, then street sweeper will come and then ticket you. So I was able to do that for a few weeks. I was able to make a little extra money on side hustles here and there, and I was able to get my car fixed. And then after I was able to get my car fixed, I moved in with my mom, and then a friend from college convinced me to move from California, and the rest is history. I just packed up whatever I could. Everything else I just donated or threw away and moved out of California. So if I can do it and better myself instead of living in my car, you could too. I know San Francisco, I'm from there. I know it's hard to leave that place, because you know that's all you know, and that's all you know for the last couple, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So you don't want to leave that place because of the weather, because that's all you know, all your friends, family. But in some cases, you may have to just pack up and leave for better opportunities, and to you get a chance maybe to move back. Who knows? Or at least visit, right? So that's my story. That's how I grew up. If you have a comment, write it below. If you're new to my channel, Life Lessons Forum, make sure to subscribe, please. If you want to continue keeping up with other videos, make sure to hit the bell. And thank you for watching. Have a good day. Make sure to subscribe.